everybody, so I'm here today to do the Secret Diary of a YouTuber tag, I think it's called. I don't know, I just have it written down on my list of to-dos as a YouTuber tag. And yes, there is a dog walking somewhere below screen where you can't see her, but it's okay, we're just going to ignore her for the most part. Hi! The first question is, how long have you been on YouTube? And this channel actually started as a collab channel with my friend Samantha, and she had webcam issues, and so then I was kind of making them alone, and then I got around to figuring out that I really liked making videos. So I think I've actually been on here for 3 years? It might be 4. I would really actually have to check. I have no clue. We really made the channel to kind of pull a Vlogbrothers thing because I was living in Chicago and she was still going to school in Arkansas. Now, of course, I'm back in Arkansas and she's going to school in Boston, so. To kind of go with what everybody else is saying, I have a feeling I'll stop whenever it stops being fun to occasionally sit down and make them. I occasionally have to take a hiatus from making videos depending on exactly how busy I am, because I do tend to work multiple jobs and I'm also, writing fiction novels in my spare time, and so it just, everything takes a whole lot of time. There's only so much Jenna to go around. But in general, I really like making videos and I really like seeing other people's videos, so it's fun to contribute to the conversation. I think the best thing about YouTube so far has been all of the friends that I've made, and I know that sounds pretty standard, but I really became friends with people because of YouTube whenever I wasn't even making videos yet. When I was living in Chicago at the time, I met some of my very best friends. It's whenever like John Green came into town and we'd all meet up, and just that's how the Chicago Nerdfighter community became so active, and I became active with them, and it was wonderful. And I think communities like that are the best thing that have come out of YouTube. So not necessarily like Nerdfighteria, although I really love Nerdfighteria, but I mean groups that start off as being friends online and then you end up being friends IRL. The worst thing about YouTube from, the grand community perspective is probably the way that some people abuse their power. I also think it's the tendency to try to go for the thing that's going to be the most viral in content as opposed to the thing that's going to contribute the most content to a further discussion on the actual internet. Usually for a thumbnail, I kind of pick some still from my videos and I create a screenshot and then I put text over it. So I usually only have like one option because I'm not really good at making thumbnails and I'm not really good at finding the right screenshot. So I usually only have like one that I'm actually choosing from. I have a huge YouTuber crush right now on Hannah Hart, which anybody who watches this channel regularly is pretty aware of. And I didn't really know who she was until we were going to get her for LeakyCon this past year, and everybody was talking about how she was part of the Holy Trinity, and I didn't know what that meant, and I didn't know who she was, and it only takes one video to really love her. So yeah, Hannah Hart's my current YouTube crush. At some point, I would love to actually get Susie in a video with me because we're actually friends IRL, so I figured it'd be a good stepping stone for her. I'm actually wearing sweatpants on my bottom half and nice fuzzy socks. I tend to, as soon as I hit the door or whenever I get out of work, I tend to immediately almost get into pajama pants or sweatpants of some sort. Partly because I'm never more than like 5 minutes away from doing yoga. It's kind of one of the ways that I relieve some of the stress that my body inherently takes on with my multiple jobs. But it's also mostly because that's just the way I grew up. It's one of those weird things I have in common with my stepmother that I really like. So yeah, sweatpants. So I tend to sometimes prep for a video with a script, or at least to gather my thoughts, especially for a book review. But whenever I actually sit down to record, I kind of get ready to record in whatever way I feel like I need to, whether it's like sticking my hair up or something. And then I pretty much sit down and press record. I really kind of love editing, so I'm okay with doing all one take and then splicing as needed. But the more takes that I do, the more chance I have to freak myself out. I pretty much hit record and go. Most of the time, I really like the YouTube community. And not just BookTube, which I think is actually incredibly nice, but I also just really tend to like the YouTube community at large. In general, like the YouTube community culture is just so cool, and BookTube I think is some of the best part of that. I don't know how successful my channel is, so I'm not really sure what a successful channel requires, other than the same thing that all social media requires, which unfortunately I know a lot about, and that's always consistency. People need to know when you're going to communicate, the kind of style that you're going to communicate in, so your voice needs to be consistent, and you need to have some sort of running theme with your content. And I don't mean like, every Friday is Fiesta Friday! I just mean some sort of consistent ideals that they know they can base things on, which just basically means people like for you to be consistent as a person, and they like for your content to go up consistently so that they can continue watching you as a consistent person. I have no idea who to tag here because all the people that I used to tag in this kind of thing have either one, already tagged me. Hi Susie. Or two, don't really make YouTube videos on a very consistent basis, so Basically that means if you would like to do this tag, or if you have any opinions or thoughts on any of these questions whatsoever, please feel free to make a video or leave a comment in the comment section below. I almost forgot the word for comment section. I'll put all the questions in the description box so that you can see those in case you're interested, but I have to go because I'm finally off for anything, and that means that it's time to make praline roasted plums to go over frozen vanilla yogurt.